What's up guys, and welcome to this video. Today I want to show you my first ever camera rig as a beginner filmmaker. To do this, I first have to disassemble everything so I can show you this build piece by piece. Enjoy! Obviously, let's start with the camera I use. So this is the a7 III, which you know is kinda old nowadays, but it's still a perfect choice for people starting out with filmmaking or even photography, since it's a really good hybrid. The lens I have on my a7 III is the Sony 24-70 f2.8 G Master version 2. This sits about 90% of the time on my camera because it's such a good all-rounder. First, I'm going to add the cage to the camera. Essentially, this is the main piece that holds everything together. The one I have is from SmallRig. By the way, I'm using this little guy from SmallRig. This comes in very handy when you're, for example, on the go and need to fix something on the rig. You have every screw you need, possibly on this one. Now that the cage is on the camera, we already added a lot of mounting options for accessories. Next, I'm going to mount the top handle to the cage. This one goes directly onto the cage and it also has airy locating pins. Make sure to tighten this one very good so it doesn't go anywhere. I also have another one which is a little bit bigger, but I chose this one because it is lower profile and overall fits better into my hands. So I have a very good grip on this. Since we added a top handle, we could already use this camera for some better handheld shots because this gives already a lot of stability on its own. And sometimes when I don't have a lot of space to operate in, I even use this as a setup. Next up is the mounting blade. This one goes directly onto the bottom of the cage. Make sure to always use 2 screws for this one because you want to avoid that the camera is rotating on the blade. Make this tight as well. Next up is this guy from a7iii. This one has holes for 50mm rods, which you can further utilize to mount even more stuff onto the rig. Onto here I have already mounted the connection part for the bottom plate. And on the bottom side there's also a plate which goes to my video tripod from SmallRig. Now to mount this onto here, you simply have to drop the camera onto the plate and tighten it with this handle, like so. Since we added this, we can now add the 50mm rods onto the camera rig. So now with the rods added to the rig, you can see you have a lot more mounting options. Next up is the V-mount battery plate, which simply goes onto the back of the camera. And you want to make sure that you don't mount it too far to the camera, since you still want to be able to use the screen. Next, I'm going to add the side handle. This one isn't just a side handle, this one is the Nucleus Nano from Tilta, which includes this guy here for motorized focus pulling. And what is nice about this handle is that it's using an RE rosette, which goes directly onto the bottom half of the rig. This one allows you to rotate the handle to your liking. Next up, I'm going to use the monitor for this rig. I'm using the Atomos Shinobi. It's a 5-inch monitor. You cannot record with this, but it's plenty enough for a camera rig like this, and I just love this thing. And to add the monitor, I have this mounting piece from Nisi. This goes onto the front of the handle, and with this piece in between, you can just add the monitor like that and snap it in. And every time you need to take off the monitor, you simply have to switch this lever and take it off. It's just so simple and I love it. Before I move on, let me just connect all the cables. I like these very much because these are dummy batteries, so you can literally power up this whole rig from one V-mount battery. This one single battery holds for one whole day of shooting, but just in case, I have a second one. Next, I'm connecting the monitor to the camera. Next up is the microphone. The one I use is very old. I think it's the Rode video mic, but for this rig, it's plenty enough and it serves its purpose. For this I have added an extension with a hot shoe mount from the cage, so I can just mount this one further from the handle. And as you can see, this looks very professional already, but there's one very important thing missing. And last but not least, what is missing? Of course, the matte box. This one is from Tilta. I love it because it's very small footprint and it's just also very light. It goes simply onto the front of the lens. And just like that, it looks way better and way more professional in my opinion. But it also has its purpose. You can use VNDs with it, which is just necessary for outdoor shooting. There's one piece I forgot, and that's the lens support, but this one isn't that necessary for this lens. It's more relevant for the heavier lenses like a 70-200. But here I don't really need it. And the nice thing about this rig is that you can make it a lot smaller with only a few moves. First, disconnect the cables, only the ones to the battery, and then you can just loosen this lever, and there you have it. A way simpler rig for when you don't have a lot of space around you and you need to hold it more tight to the body. This is perfect. There you have it, guys. This is my first ever camera rig as a beginner filmmaker. I hope you liked this video. For any more questions about this rig, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know what you want to see next time, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you don't want to miss future uploads. Until next time.